What's up with these films and tongue sucking? I mean, it's just a moist pink piece of flesh. It's not that exciting. Yes, today we are covering another film from the master of Pinku films, Hisayasu Sato. For people who don't remember, he made vibrator torture. YouTube. And just like his other films, this one is sleazy, bloody, and so goddamn entertaining. The story is pretty simple. We follow Akira, not to be mistaken with the masterpiece of anime films, whose job is to clean up after people are done at peep shows. And one day on his job, he finds a video that a customer left behind. And that video kind of looks like a snuff film. And he's so fascinated that he takes it from work and brings it home, where he watches it, of course, next to his little sister. And then, since the movie doesn't want to waste any time to show us how sleazy it is, she says my favorite line of the entire film. Hey, let's commit incest. Anyway, after he's done the deed, he goes back to one of his main hobby, which is filming people on the street at night. Not creepy at all. And apparently he's a film student, which of course he is, because he's a creep. And during one of his nightly shoot, we discover that somebody else in this town has the same hobby as him, except he not only creepily films people, but he murders them. And that's where he meets a woman detective, or as she calls herself, a crime hunter. He goes into her car and she shows him a lot of video, and she introduces him to the concept of UVF, which are underground video films. That's pretty much their way of saying snuff films, and honestly I want us to start calling snuff films UVFs, because honestly snuff film is like from the 70s, it has this bad connotation. Bring back UVF. I'm gonna do a petition on change.org because that always works, am I right, Russia? The crime hunter starts asking the boy about where he works and who he works with. Because of course, working at a peep show, he works for some of the sleaziest people out there, including his boss, who's also a pornographer named Mr. Cross. Which, by the way, cross in French Canadian means masturbation, so that's appropriate. She calls the pornographer to set up an interview for TV, but he doesn't want anything to do with that. Because he makes snuff films. Of course he's not gonna give you a TV interview. As the crime hunter continues to investigate, we get more background on our boy, and we can see that Akira is a little, fucked up in the head. I know, right? Hard to believe. And he keeps on watching weird videos, and even thinks that the girls in them are calling for his help, which are the equivalent of those weird guys on Twitter trying to save sex workers. I don't know, kind of gave me that creep-ass fucking vibe. And the other woman that works at the peep show is also an actress for Mr. Cross's film, and she goes to see him to, play in one of his movies, but all he wants to do are roughies. Which again, I just love the references to, snuff and roughies and everything. This feels very much like an homage to the underground. And it will please a lot of us in the community because, it's rare that films are targeted towards us, especially during the 90s. Anyway, Mr. Cross has sex with his actress, which by the way, she is goddamn gorgeous, and the movie continues. There our young boy wants to introduce his sister to Mr. Cross, so he steals his camera to see that there is a weapon in it, which you've been looking at videos of people getting murdered with a camera knife and then your boss has one. 1 + 1 = 2, dumbass, but for some reason he still doesn't figure it out. Our boy finally figures it out and he tries to follow Mr. Cross. During that time, the crime hunter gets kidnapped and plays in one of the movies. But our hero arrives at the right time to save the damsel in distress. And that's where we get the reveal that everybody knew Mr. Cross was the murderer all along. I know, big fucking shock. And in the fashion of Hisayasu Sato, the ending is very convoluted and I didn't understand one fucking bit. So, Rewind by Hisayasu Sato. Honestly, the man is slowly starting to be one of my favorite directors. Just like Daisuke Yamanouchi, there are some hits, there are some misses, but overall I'm very satisfied. And unlike Daisuke, he actually shoots on film, which the movies actually look like movies. Imagine that! But I don't want to compare the two because they're not competitors, and honestly both of their movies offer different things. Hisayasu Sato takes the more artistic experimental route with the use of, video and film and, watching through video, and it honestly just feels very nice. And for like the first time on this channel, most of the sex scenes are actually consensual and they're pretty hot. It's very atmospheric, there's not a lot of gore, but the gore that's there works. Most of it is just off-screen and blood splatter, but I still appreciate the copious amounts of blood that they use. And the crime hunter character and Akira are actually very likable and you root for them the entire time. I know I always say that, and at this point you're probably thinking, Jesus Christ, Spooky, is there a film out there you don't like? Yes, violent shit. Check out that review to see me very angry, but I don't know, these Pinku films are just fun to watch. They're short, they don't overstay their welcome. Some of the sex scenes in this could have been trimmed, but I mean it's an hour long, like, it goes by fast. And honestly, to satisfy me, especially with Pinku films, you just need a story that holds itself together, sex, and blood. Which are all included in Rewind, by the way. And I know I titled this pseudo-snuff film, it's not really a pseudo-snuff film, there is a pseudo-snuff film aspect, but in the same way that Cannibal Holocaust can kind of be classified as pseudo-snuff. Anyways, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share because I'm close to 1,000 subscribers, thank you so much by the way, and see you guys next time.